Reminiscing has been part of person's life. In order to remember the past happy, good, and lovely memory, picture is one best thing that could be kept to start all of this. But remembering is not just the reason. In resolving cases, to give justice to the victim could be the big impact in a piece of art called photography. It's been gratitude to discover photography in a very aspect of our life to give impact and changes to the world. We'll see where the photography came from and who discovered the photography.
Photography, derived from the Greek word photos for light and graphos for drawing. It is the art, science, and practice of creating durable images by recording light or other electromagnetic radiation, either chemically by means of a light-sensitive materials such as photographic film, or electronically by means of an image sensor. Typically, a lens is used to focus the light reflected or emitted from objects into a real image on the light-sensitive surface inside a camera during a time exposure. History of photography. Photography, the result of combining several different technical discoveries. Long before the first photograph were made, Chinese philosopher Mo Ti and Greek mathematicians Aristotle and Euclid described a pinhole camera in 4th and 5th centuries BC. Mo Ti was a Chinese carpenter and philosopher who lived some 2,500 years ago. Mo Ti laid claim to the first mention of the principles behind the pinhole camera. He referred to this camera as a collecting plate or locked treasure room.
A pinhole camera is a simple camera without a lens and with a single small aperture, effectively a light-proof box with a small hole in one side. Light from a scene passes through this single point and projects an inverted image on the opposite side of the box. The human eye in bright light acts similarly as do cameras using small apertures. Up to a certain point, the smaller the hole, the sharper the image, but the dimmer the projected image. Optimally, the size of the aperture should be 1 over 100 or less the distance between it and projected image. A common use of the pinhole camera is to capture the movement of the sun over a long period of time. This type of photography is called solarography.
In the 6th century AD, Mason mathematician Anthemius of Tralles used a type of camera obscura in his experiments.
Camera obscura is an optical device that projects an image of its surroundings on a screen. The device consists of a box or room with a hole in one side. Light from an external scene passes through the hole and strikes a surface inside, where it is reproduced upside down but the color perspective preserved. In 4th century BCE, Aristotle noted that sunlight traveling through small openings between the leaves of a tree, the holes of the sieve, the openings weaker work, and even interlaced finger will create circular pulses of light on the ground. Euclid presupposed the camera obscura as a demonstration that light travels in a straight line. Greek scholar Theon of Alexandria observed that candlelight passing through a pinhole will create an illuminated spot on a screen that is directly in line with aperture and center of the candle. In 9th century, Al-Kandi demonstrated that light from the right side of the flame will pass through the aperture and end up of the left side on the screen, while light from the left side of the flame will pass through the aperture and end up of the right side of the screen. The Song Dynasty Chinese scientist Shinko in 1031 to 1095 experimented with a camera obscura and was the first to apply geometrical and quantitative attributes to it in his book of 1088 AD, The Dream Pool Essay. In 13th century in England, Roger Bacon described the use of camera obscura for the safe observation of solar eclipse. Leonardo da Vinci, in 1452 to 1519, he described the camera obscura in Codex Atlanticus. Giambattista della Porta, he described it as a convex lens in a later edition of his Magia Naturalis in 1558 to 1589. He compared the shape of the human eye to the lens in his camera obscura and provided an easily understandable example of how light could bring image into the eye. In 17th century Dutch masters such as Johannes Vermeer, it has been widely speculated that they made use of such a camera, but the extent of their use by artists at this period remains a matter of considerable controversy, presently revived by the Hankney Falcofism. Hassan bin Haytham, he showed through experiment that light travels in straight line and carried out various experiments with lenses, mirrors, refraction, and reflection. He was the first to consider separately the vertical and horizontal components of reflected and refracted light rays. Alhazen studied the process of sight, the structure of the eye, image formation in the eye, and visual system. His understanding of pinhole projection from his experiments appears to have influenced his consideration of image inversion in the eye, which he sought to avoid. He maintained that the rays that fell perpendicularly on the lens were farther refracted outward as they left the glacial rumor, that resulting image thus passed upright into a optic nerve at the back of the eye.
Albertus Magnus discovered silver nitrate. This compound is a versatile precursor to many other silver compounds, such as those used in photography, and it's far less sensitive to light than the halide. William Hamburg described how light darkens some chemical or photochemical effect in 1694. Hamburg practiced natural philosophy at a time of transition between alchemy and chemistry. He did attempt Theosophia, but also he made what are still regarded as solid contribution to chemical and physical knowledge, recording observation on the preparation of conchyl's phosphorus on the green color, produced in flames by copper, on the crystallization of common salt, on the salts of plants, on the saturation of base by acid, on the pressing of water, and its evaporation in vacuum. The Nobel Gifanti described what could be interpreted as photography. These novels, published in 1760 by De La Roche, an excerpt from the novel described that, the trace of light reflected from different bodies of picture. Paint the image reflected on polished surface. For example, on the retina of the eye, on water, and on glass coat a piece of canvas with this matter, and place it in on front the object. So the canvas retains a facsimile of the image. The canvas is then removed and deposited in the dark place. An hour later, the impression is dry, and you have a picture.
Around the year 1800, Thomas Wellwood, he is the first known to have true of creating permanent picture by capturing camera image on material coated with a light-sensitive chemical. His practical experiment yielded only shadow image photogram that we are not light fast, but his conceptual breakthrough and practical success have led some historians to call him the first photographer. Wellwood is the first person reliably documented to have used light-sensitive chemical to capture sensuate image on durable edge as a paper, and the first known to have attempted to photograph the image formed in camera obscura. Wellwood met a young chemist named Humphrey Davy at the Pneumatic Clinic in Bristol. While Wellwood was there being treated for the ailments, Davy wrote his print for publication in London Journal on the Royal Institution in 1802. Nevertheless, The paper of 1802 and Willwood's work directly influenced other chemists and scientists delving into the craft of photography. Since subsequent research has shown it was actually quite widely known about and was mentioned in chemist textbook as early as 1803. He used or white leather treated with silver nitrate, although he succeeded in capturing the shadow of object placed on the surface directly sunlight, and even made shadow copies of painting on glass. It was reported in 1802 that the image formed by means of camera obscura have been found to paint to produce in moderate time. In effect, upon the nitrate of silver, the shadow image eventually darkened all over because no attempt have been made to prevent the uncolored part of the copy or profile from being attended upon by light as yet being successful. But Wilbur may be pictorially abandoned this experiment because of his frail and failing health. He did age 34 in 1805.
The oldest surviving permanent photography of the image found in a camera was created in 1826 by a French inventor Joseph Nicephore Niepce. He developed helography, a technique used to produce the world's first known photography in 1825. He called his process helography, which means sunlight. The photography was produced on a published photo plate, the light-sensitive material which has a thin coating of bitumen, a naturally occurring petroleum tar which has dissolved in white petroleum, applied to the surface of the plate and allowed to set before use. After a very long exposure in a camera, the bitumen has sufficiently hardened in proportion to its exposure to the light that the unhardened part could be removed with solvent, leaving a positive image with the light region represented by hardened bitumen and the dark region by bare filter. Niepce had previously experimented with a paper cloth with silver chloride, unlike the earlier experimenter with silver salt. He succeeded in photographing the image formed in the small camera, producing his first results in 1816. In 1829, Niepce and Louis Daguerre became a partnership to repeal the bitumen process, substituting a more sensitive resin and a very different post-exposure treatment that yielded higher quality and more easily view image exposure time in the camera, although somewhat reducing, were still measured in hours. In 1833, Niepce died of a stroke, leaving his note to Daguerre. Louis-Jacques Desmond Daguerre was a French artist. He became known as one of the fathers of photography. Daguerre continued with experimentation, eventually developing a process that literally resembled that of Niepce. He named this the daguerreotype after himself. Daguerreotype is a directly positive made in the camera on silver copper plate. The surface of this is like a mirror with the image directly on the silver surface. It is very fragile and can be rubbed off with the finger, and the finished plate has to be angled so as to reflect some dark surface in order to view the image properly.
After reading early reports of Daguerre's invention, William Henry Fox Talbot was a British inventor and a photography pioneer who invented the calotype process, a precursor to photographic processes of the 19th and 20th centuries. After Daguerre's discovery was announced without details, Talbot showed
his 3.5-year-old pictures at the Royal Institution on January 25, 1839. Talbot had succeeded in creating stabilized photographic negatives on paper in 1835, worked on perfecting his own process. In early 1839, he acquired a key improvement, an effective fixer, from John Herschel, the astronomer, who had previously shown that hyposulfite of soda would dissolve silver salt. News of this solvent also reached Dagri, who quietly substituted it for his less effective hot saltwater treatment.
Talbot's early silver chloride sensitive paper experiments required camera exposure of an hour or more. In 1840, Talbot invented the calotype process, which, like the grease process, used the principle of chemical development of a faint or invincible latent image to reduce the exposure time to a few minutes. Paper with a coating of silver iodide was exposed in the camera and developed into a translucent negative image, unlike a daguerreotype which could only be copied by rephotographing it with a camera. A calotype negative could be used to make a large number of positive print by simple contact printing. In 1839, John Herschel made the first glass negative, but his process was difficult to produce. Sloven James Pohar invented a process for making photographs on glass in 1841. It was recognized on June 17, 1852 in Paris by the Académie Nationale Agricole Manufacturier et Commerciale. In 1851, Frederick Scott Archer invented the collodion process. Roger Fenton's assistant on Fenton's photographic van Crimea 1855. Herbert Boyer, Berkeley, experimented with his own version of collodion emulsion after someone introduced the idea of adding ditonite to the Prugalul developer. Berkeley discovered that with his own addition of sulfide to absorb the sulfur dioxide given off by the chemical ditonite in the developer, that ditonite was not required in the developing process. In 1881, he published his discovery. 19th century experimentation with photographic processes frequently became proprietary.
In 1870s, dry plate comes out, also known as gelatin process. It's an improved type of photographic plate. The wet plate was without question a successful photographic process, but it had its drawback. Primarily, there was the fact that a wet plate had to be used within 10 minutes of preparing, and secondly, because of its slow photographic speed. The preparation of wet plate required numerous chemical beakers and liquid, all mixed in the dark in a portable tent if the photographer was planning on the photographing away from the studio.
In 1924, 35mm camera Oscar Barnack, who was in charge to research and development at least, decided to investigate using 35mm thin film for still cameras while attempting to build a compact camera capable for making high-quality enlargement. He built his prototype 35mm camera around 1913. The further development was delayed for several years by World War I. This test marked the design between 1923 and 1924, receiving enough positive feedback and that the camera was put into production at Leica 1 in 1925.
In 1949, first SLR released. A similar revolution in SLR design began in 1933 with the introduction of the EHG Exacta, a compact SLR which used 127 roll film. The 35mm SLR design gained immediate popularity and there was an explosion of new models and innovative features after World War II. There were also a few 35mm TLRS, the best known of which was the Tafflex of 1935, but for the most part, this met with little success. The first major post-war SLR innovation was the high-level viewfinder, which first appeared on the Hungarian Duflex in 1947 and was refined in 1948 with a contract as the first camera to use a pentaprism.
The first digitally scanned photograph was produced in 1957. The digital scanning process was invented by Russell A. Kirsch, a computer pioneer at the National Institute of Standards and Technology. He developed the system capable of feeding camera's image into a computer. His first feed image was his son, Walden Kirsch. His photos was set at 176 while the first durable color photograph was set of 3 black and white photographs taken through red, green, and blue colors filters and shown superimposed by using 3 projectors with similar filters. It was taken by Thomas Fulton in 1861 for use a lecture by Scottish physicist James Clerk Maxwell, who had proposed the method in 1855. Two French inventors, Louis Ducos Hauron and Charles Course, working unknown to each other during the 1860s, famously unveiled their nearly identical ideas on the same day in 1869. Included were methods for viewing a set 3 colors filter, black and white photographs in color without having to project them, and using them to make full color print on paper.
The first widely used method of color photography was the autocam plate, commercially introduced in 1907. It was based on one of Louis Ducos Hauron's idea. Instead of taking 3 separate photographs through color filter, take one through a mosaic of tiny colors filter overlaid on the emulsion and view the results through an identical mosaic. If the individual filters elements were small enough, the 3 primary colors would blend together in the eye and produce the same additive color synthesis as the filtered projection of 3 separate photographs. Reversal processing was used to ordinary projection.
A new era of color photography began with the introduction of Kodachrome film, available from 16mm home movies in 1935 and 35mm slides in 1936. It captured the red, green, and blue color components in 3 layers of emulsion. A complex processing operation produced complementary cyan, magenta, and color dye image in those layers, resulting in a subtracted color image. In 1963, we had a Polaroid camera, the earliest camera, which consisted of a camera and a portable darkroom in a single compartment. In 1985, we had an autofocus camera. Optical system uses a sensor, control system, and a motor to focus fully automatic or on a manually selected point or area. In 1990-2004, we had a different digital camera. Digital and film cameras share an optic system, typically using a lens with a variable diaphragm to focus light onto an image pickup device. The diaphragm and shutter admit the correct amount of light to the imager, just as with the film, but the image pickup device is electronic rather than chemical. However, unlike film cameras, digital cameras can display images on a screen immediately after being recorded and store and delete image from memory.
There is an inventor who's invented the photography. All of us should be thankful for having the photography invented. Without this, there wouldn't be copies for our memory for solving cases.